What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. Hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and that the cool weather, presuming it is cool where you are, is treating you well and treating you kindly. It finally got cool where I live in South Texas, and I was able to bust out a half zip, quarter zip, whatever you want to call it. I was able to walk my dogs in the middle of the day. I mean, just fantastic. Best time of the year that we're living in. Although the Dallas Cowboys are doing their best to suppress and ruin that. If you're new around here, we do talk about the Dallas Cowboys 24/7, 365. So make sure to subscribe right here to the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel. You can also hang out with me on any level of social media. That's X, Instagram, Threads at RJ Ochoa. TikTok is rj.ochoa. Go like my Facebook page. Just search for RJ Ochoa, obviously. You can follow me on LinkedIn. Email is rj.ochoa@sbnation.com if you want to reach out and contact me there. Although if you're looking for a DM, sort of way or angle, the best way I always tell y'all to do that is through Instagram DMs. You can also leave a comment down below, and I'll do my very best to get to those as well. Shout out, by the way, to my Florida Gators for winning the East Lake Cup on Wednesday. Fantastic venue, fantastic tournament to watch. Congratulations also to the Oregon Ducks women's team, but the men's team, Florida Gators, only Gators get out alive, baby. It's Florida Georgia week, so it's a big one for me in the world of college football. Also, big for the Dallas Cowboys in that we all get an extra day. That kind of changes the schedule and the rhythm of things a little bit because the Cowboys play on Monday Night Football, in case you forgot. Actually, the next two Cowboys games, which are sandwiching the bye, so this is 2 games in 3 weeks, but they're both on Monday Night Football. Very unique stretch coming up for the Cowboys. In case you're unaware, there's only one Sunday game they're playing between now and mid-December. They got back-to-back Monday night games. Again, the bye week in between there. Then they do play a Sunday game against the Eagles. Then Thanksgiving, which is a Thursday. And then Thursday Night Football against the Lions, obviously on a Thursday. So lots of red zone time with Scott Hanson, which we're all certainly looking forward to. But because of the little delay and whatnot, we'll get to our Cardinals coverage or Cardinals pregame coverage, obviously, as the week moves along. That gave us a day to kind of work on a different topic, and thankfully this kind of came to a forefront thanks to the Detroit Lions, the gold standard when it comes to how the Dallas Cowboys should aim to operate as a franchise, a sentence that I don't think any of us when we were growing up would have imagined to be possible, but it is the case nonetheless. On Wednesday, the Detroit Lions very quietly and therefore very stupidly, through the mind and purview of the Dallas Cowboys, gave Aiden Hutchinson a 4-year, $180 million extension. These, as you're seeing on your screen here, are recent extensions that Adam Schefter noted on Twitter. Aiden Hutchinson, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Jamison Williams, Kirby Joseph, Lee McNeil, Taylor Decker. These are the most important positions in professional football, right? You're talking about pass rusher, quarterback, wide receiver, star offensive lineman. That's not even a strong enough word here. Safety, defense, offensive line again. Like we could go on and on and on and on and throw whatever words and whatever labels we want. But the point of saying all of this is I'm talking to you. There are some of you out there who, when the Jones boys go on the radio and say, we just can't do it, there's not enough pie, do not fall for it. You are better than that. You are smarter than that. The Lions are just the latest team. I want to be very clear. The Lions are not the team that, is making the whole world go, wow, I guess it can be done. No. This has been very well known, very well documented, very well evidence-based for a long time now. Yet somehow, some way, there are still people who believe Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones when they say it just can't be done. And more than that, more than the fact that it can be done from just a practical standpoint, it can be done very quietly. It can be done without drama. It can be done without having to be the headline on First Take. It can be done without having to drag your players through the mud and pitting the media or the fans or whoever against them. It can be done in an efficient manner that serves the sole purpose of making your football team better for the express purpose of winning football games. It's not that much to ask for as a football fan, but for the Dallas Cowboys, it is an impossibility. And look, again, I don't mean to mock the Lions, or I know I kind of launched astray and said, whatever about my gold standard comment, but good for the Lions, man. Seriously, all the Lions want to do is play football and kick ass. Like, I respect that so much. I find if you listen to things I've done in the past, other shows, other videos, and this is somewhat true, I do find the Lions to be somewhat annoying. I just find it annoying to be how everyone acts like they're the first person to recognize the Lions are good. That's really all it is. It has nothing to do with the Lions themselves. But I mean, in terms of even if you did find the Lions to be annoying, you have to ultimately respect the way they go about working. And I certainly do. But the Dallas Cowboys, they continue to swirl. They continue to do whatever. They continue to just live and operate by the beat of their own drum. And perhaps that drum will lead them to a trade. That's what we're talking about next. Let's put this up on your screen. I wrote this on, what's today? Wednesday? I already forgot. I got a lot going on. I got a fall festival tonight. It's going to be super fun. I'm going to be hopped up on candy. It's going to be amazing. But this is from my article at bloggingtheboys.com. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Actually, let's set the stage here. So today is Wednesday, October 29th, just in case you're watching this some other day. I always believe in saying the date just because sometimes information changes. But today marks a week and change since the Max Crosby rumors came out, right? Like early last week after the Cowboys beat the Commanders, Trey Wingo reported that the Cowboys had called the Raiders about Max Crosby. We got excited. We got pumped. We thought maybe this was going to happen. A day later, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler included in a notebook article at ESPN how the Cowboys had inquired about Trey Hendrickson. Now, here's the thing here. I find these to be two different types of choose your own adventure, right? Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson. And I've talked about this here on the channel. I've posted social clips about this. Max Crosby still makes sense, even though we all recognize this Dallas Cowboys season has a very, very, very low ceiling. Max Crosby still makes sense because he serves the future. You might have to pay. You definitely have to pay. Excuse me. You're definitely going to have to pay more for Max Crosby, but he can help you out beyond 2025. That's why this trade still makes sense, even though you have to pay more. Trey Hendrickson, obviously not the player that Max Crosby is, and I don't mean to disparage him at all. This isn't negative. This isn't a slight. This isn't any kind of stray that I'm launching at Trey Hendrickson. But the most important factor regarding Trey Hendrickson is that he's in a contract year, which is kind of a Dallas Cowboys specialty. But he's in a contract year, which means trading for him, acquiring him benefits as far as only known commodities and known quantities only this season. This is, forgive the parlance, it's lame and low-hanging fruit, but I mean this only in a literal sense here. This is an all-in move. This is, we believe we're close here in 2025. We believe we're this away. We're going to go get this to help right now. This over here, this right now, that, maybe we can call it that. Max Crosby, sure, he absolutely helps right now, but he helps in the future in a way that Trey Hendrickson is not guaranteed to. You would have to give Trey Hendrickson a brand new deal for him to help you in the future, which was kind of a point of contention between him and his current team in the Cincinnati Bengals that was happening in parallel with you and your contentious discussion and nature and contract negotiations with Micah Parsons. But again, water under the bridge. So that being said, this makes no sense. This makes no sense because we're not trying to overreact to one game, but Sunday was a significant game for the Cowboys in that they could not contend remotely with the Denver Broncos. They failed their litmus test that they are not a team that can contend seriously here this season. That's not overreacting. Again, that's just analyzing and assessing the situation at hand. Max Crosby can't help you in a way that can make 2025 be totally fixed because nobody can. No singular person can fix this whole thing. That means Trey Hendrickson can't, right? So that means you don't need to do something silly like bring Trey Hendrickson in and just this would be like if I were in the middle of the ocean soaking wet and I said I need to dry off and you gave me a towel while I was still in the middle of the ocean. It doesn't accomplish anything right now. What I need is a boat or a flotation device to get back to land, and then I can get the towel, right? That's the situation the Cowboys are in. They're in the middle of the ocean, and the goal is to dry off. So we can't give them a towel while they're still stuck in the middle of the ocean. That's what Trey Hendrickson would be. But that being said, that was a week ago when the Trey Hendrickson stuff came out. And that idea held some merit before the Cowboys failed the litmus test. But as mentioned, they failed it. So let's look at what Jeremy Fowler reported on Wednesday. That is distracting to me. Scroll down. All right. So this was on Wednesday, October 29th. Once again, dates, all that stuff matters for context. The middle part here is the quote from Jeremy Fowler. Up to this point, the Bengals have rebuffed trade inquiries, talking about Trey Hendrickson, obviously, and sources have maintained that Cincinnati has no plans to trade Hendrickson right now. The Cowboys and 49ers are among the interested teams, though. San Francisco made a move for a pass rusher Tuesday night, which, again, would seemingly take San Francisco out of the mix and would kind of mean the Cowboys are, up against only themselves relative to trading for Trey Hendrickson. Look, this is in no way a point about Trey Hendrickson. This is a point about the 2025 Dallas Cowboys. They are not one trade away. Forget one player. They are not one trade, one move, one acquisition, one transaction away from fixing this. It's too big of a problem. If you want to trade for Max Crosby, Cowboys, that idea carries merit. You can help yourself in the future. We can get behind that as a fan base. But if you make some sort of, and this verbiage is annoying, if you make some sort of all-in move, that is a horrible idea. That hurts the short term, ultimately, even if you don't think so. And more importantly, it hurts the long term. It isn't going to make this short-term situation better in the way that you're hoping against all hope that it's going to. And it is going to compromise the future relative to draft capital. And I mean no disrespect here, but the same way that Jonathan Mingo traded, the same way that Trey Lance traded, those draft picks, those 4th-round picks, we were pissed off when the Cowboys did not have them at the moment in time that they were on the clock, or that they should have been on the clock in those respective NFL drafts. So if you want to make, and again, I hate that I'm saying it a second time here, some sort of all-in move, no, you either have to make some sort of Max Crosby move that is about the future more than it is about the present, or you have to shut up and take your medicine, because you've been kicking this can down the road for far too long. So you need to just take it, eat it, be patient, and then in 2026, if you want to get back into the mix, at that point, it makes some sense. But doing something that is hyper-focused on this present, current Dallas Cowboys season would be incredibly unwise. Now, I think that's a point that we all agree with. I think that's a point that we can all rally behind. But unfortunately, I think it's going to fall on deaf ears, and I think the Cowboys front office is going to do something silly. But we'll see. We have now less than a week to go until the trade deadline, and so maybe they mix it up. Who knows? My name is RJ Ochoa. You can hang out with me on the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel each and every single day. Subscribe to the channel so you get access to all of our wonderful videos. Like I said, our Cardinals anticipation stuff will be starting to roll out now that we're getting a little bit closer to the game. It's the interesting quirk of Monday Night Football. Social, all the links to all my social profiles down in the description below if you want to hang out with me on any of those platforms. And once again, a congratulations to my Florida Gators. Yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, I have a fall festival tonight. I'm very, very excited about it. Looking forward to chatting with you all as the week continues to unfold and hearing about what you're going to be dressed as for Halloween. I'm going to be Yoshi, as I've been telling y'all for a while, because my son's going to be Super Mario. Thanks so much, everybody, for hanging out, and we will see you next time.